Athletics. With your hosts, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into this, the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Jeremy Jeffcoat. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of sports. JJ and I have been here at the station all night poring over the JFK files. We've got them. Got them figured out, I think.
Yeah.
No big surprises, I think. You know,
That's kind of the word on the street, right?
it's about what we thought, you know. So, yeah, but no, I'm kidding. But the NCAA tournament is upon us. It is official now. Auburn will face Alabama State. Hey,
Yeah,
local
great game
matchup.
last night.
Yeah, it was. Talk about that was almost a Leitner-esque type heave down the court for Alabama State to get that win. Luke and I were actually doing the show while it was going on, but keeping up with it a little bit. But Alabama State gets the win over St. Francis, 70-68. So Alabama State and Auburn will play tomorrow, 1:50. On the True TV network.
True TV.
True TV.
Yeah.
Hope it is true for Auburn for sure. But we talked a little bit about this when, of course, we did the show Monday. But talked a little bit about this. We'll dive a little bit more into that, a little bit more into some specifics with Alabama State. What kind of team is this? Some of the teams that they've played this season. They've actually played a couple of SEC teams, LSU and Missouri, as well as several other tournament teams. So this is a team, and no team is to be taken lightly. I don't care what the seed is beside your name. You better take care of your
No
business.
team is to be. But look, you know the old saying, unless a bomb hits a rock, right? Auburn's going to beat Alabama State.
You would hope.
And I don't know how much, drama there'll be in that. But there are interesting matchups beyond that. I think Louisville at an 8 is probably a little undervalued. I think they're probably a little better than an 8. UC San Diego is an interesting day. Everybody's like jumping on UC San Diego to upset Michigan in the first round. I don't know if I buy that or not, but Texas A&M in the bracket. North Carolina looked really good last night.
Where's that been?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other one last night. North Carolina takes care of San Diego State 95-68. This was really never a game.
Now, does North Carolina now have momentum coming into that game with Ole Miss to get on a little run here,
Well, Luke was talking about last night. He does a Locked On Bama show, and he was talking with a Locked On Ole Miss guy. Apparently, he's convinced that Ole Miss team is an Elite Eight team.
Maybe.
I guess everybody's convinced their team is an Elite Eight team.
I looked at a list yesterday, and it was the top 50 players in the tournament, ranked 1 to 50, right? And because I just want to look and say, okay, out of the top 50 players, who's how many teams have multiples, right?
Right.
Auburn had a couple, Alabama had a couple, Duke had a couple. North Carolina had one, R.J. Davis, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't a single Ole Miss player in the top 50 players in the tournament. Basketball is won by players.
Yes.
And you've got to have a guy that can can take over a game for you. And Chris Beard's a heck of a coach. He's really good. And, and maybe he does get on a little run, but I just don't know if Ole Miss has a player that worries me.
Yeah. Well, the conversation, of course, is going to come up. It's been such a bizarre season. Bizarre is probably not the word. Been such a historic season for the SEC, getting 14 teams into the NCAA tournament. So what? And I've said for years, I've been trying to. I tell people all the time, look, it's the NCAA tournament's such a different animal than any other, championship type venue. You got to win 6 games. You got a team over here, Creighton or somebody Florida Gulf Coast that you just don't expect, and you only really need 5 guys to really get to and they can you can get upset. It happens to everybody at some point in time. It's difficult to do, but so what do you judge success for the SEC by? If the SEC does not win the national championship, do you say, well, they were not as good as we thought?
I think if the SEC were to somehow not place a team in the Final Four, that would be a failure.
Yeah.
Based on the quality of the teams. You've got 2 1s. You've got, is it 2 or 3 2s? Alabama and Tennessee are 2s.
Yeah.
A&M's a 4, right? So, I mean, you've got a lot of highly seeded teams. If you can't place at least one in the Final Four, then I think I would judge that to be a failure this year on the SEC's part.
I think that's probably.
Not winning the national championship. I don't know. It depends, right? Does Auburn or Florida go to the national championship game and lose to a 3 seed that gets hot, right? That would be disappointing. But I think nobody would be surprised if Duke were to win the national championship this year. So that to me wouldn't be as disappointing. But not getting there, not placing somebody in the Final Four would be a failure.
Outside of Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, is there a team in the SEC that could win the national title?
Could win the national title.
Outside of those 4?
I mean, I guess you could point at A&M. I don't know that they shoot the ball well enough to win a national championship. Who else who am I not thinking of?
I mean, Missouri's in there.
Missouri's in as a 6.
Yeah.
Hard to, not that a 6 seed hasn't won a national championship, probably has. I know the lowest seed ever to win it was an 8.
Right.
But, Kentucky at a 3.
Could Kentucky get hot and do it?
Yeah. I think there are teams that you could look up and find them in the Final Four. A&M and Kentucky, and you look around, but I don't know that Ole Miss is one of those teams, to me anyway.
Right. Mississippi State's an 8. I mean they're not. I don't think Vandy's a 10. Nobody. Georgia's and that one game that everybody's just absolutely gives Georgia not much chance at all of beating Gonzaga in an 8-9 matchup. I'm telling you.
You like Georgia?
I'm liking Georgia.
I'll be honest with you. Gonzaga's an 8 seed in this tournament.
Yeah.
If you look at their KenPom rankings and you look at the numbers, they probably should be a 5 or a 4. I mean,
think so?
Yeah, I think Gonzaga's a little better than an 8. Now, I don't see Georgia getting. I got the Gonzaga Bulldogs in that game.
Yeah. Okay. I think most everybody does. So we'll see what happens with that. But okay, tonight we got Mount St. Mary's versus American University for that last 16 seed.
Excellent time to take a nap.
Yeah. You know, both of them 22 and 12, so very evenly matched.
The second game tonight, though, is one
Xavier,
worth
Texas.
watching. Yeah, Texas and Xavier. That's one worth watching.
That one on the True TV. Luke and I were trying to figure out last night why 11 seeds. That just seems random.
I don't know. Didn't they do it before with 12s? And I don't know. They've done it before like that. I'm sure it's just trying to get, as much interest as you can. Now, the winner of that game will take on Illinois,
Right.
who can be a little vulnerable at that 6.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of like I worry about Ole Miss facing a North Carolina team that just played so well, going to be feeling great about themselves coming into that game. Yeah, I'm a little worried about Ole Miss there. Same way I worry about Illinois. If Texas or Xavier has a really good game tonight, and they come out with some momentum, and
perhaps your most vulnerable SEC team in the tournament right now.
Who's the lowest seed? Or you looking at guys in the upper half of the bracket?
Vandy.
I don't know. I mean, Vandy's obviously going to go in as an underdog.
Yeah.
Georgia will be an underdog in that game. So you've got some underdogs in there that But as far as most vulnerable is Grant Nelson healthy? I don't think it matters against Robert Morris, but I think it's going to matter a lot against St. Mary's.
Yeah, probably so. All right, we're up against our first break here on the Auburn Blitz, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Discover great deals on Kawasaki motorcycles, watercraft, side-by-sides, and more. Save big on championship-proving KX motorcycles. Get a great deal on iconic Kawasaki jet ski personal watercraft, or take advantage of big adventure for less with savings on our rugged Terex side-by-sides. There's no better time to save on our exciting lineup of Kawasaki vehicles. Visit Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard today, or see all the Kawasaki products at adamsmotorsports.com, where your pleasure is our business.
Get ready to smile because it's Truck Month at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Take your pick of over 40 brand new Chevrolet Silverados, discounted up to $14,000 off while they last. New Chevy Equinox, the compact SUV featuring high-tech options, discounted up to $5,000 off. Enjoy no payments until summertime. Choose from over 500 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way. GlennSmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. Give us a call, 256-234-6221. That's our number here. Whatever's on your mind today. Obviously, the NCAA tournament beginning tomorrow. Technically, I guess it's already begun with the play-in games, but the real deal gets underway tomorrow. What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on Auburn's draw and their first matchup with Alabama State? We'll break that game down a little bit in the next segment. We're brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center. They got 9 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do-It Center today. J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. No job's too big. No job is too small, commercial or residential. Give them a call for all your needs, 334-531-0199. And Sensa Green, heating, cooling, and insulation for all of your needs for air that's fresh, clean, cool. Sensa Green is the place for you. 334-487-3555. JJ, when you talk about teams in the NCAA tournament and you look and you're trying to project, you're thinking about the path, the pathway to the championship.
Yep.
You're looking at who, not only who's in there, who's not in your bracket. When you look at the top 4 seeds. Well, let's just look at the Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida.
Right.
Who has the easiest road, quote unquote easiest road, and who has the most difficult road?
I think out of those 4, and again, because I asked you this question before the break, is Grant Nelson healthy?
Yeah.
If Grant Nelson's healthy, then I would go the easiest path, Auburn, as it should be. They're the number 1 overall seed. And there's some landmines in there, Michigan State and Texas A&M and so forth and so on. But, and the second easiest would actually be Tennessee for me. And with Alabama's the third, I think Florida's got the hardest road of those 4 teams. Only because they may wind up having to play out of 3 absolute Hall of Fame coaches in Bill Self, Danny Hurley, and Rick Pitino. There's a good chance they're going to have to beat 2 of them to get there.
Right.
And plus the other teams in that bracket that are really good too. And so –
yeah, you get a second-round matchup with UConn.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like that could be an Elite 8 matchup.
Yeah. And I mean, Kansas sitting down there at a 7 seed, right?
Yeah.
And, Kansas was Kansas preseason number 1?
They were in the top 5. I know they're in the top 3.
So it's not like the cupboard's bare in Kansas. And we've seen what Rick Pitino's done with St. John's. And then you look at a team like Maryland, the 4 seed. So Florida getting that final number 1 seed. You know, if you take that and then you compare it to like Alabama's schedule, which St. Mary's second round's a tough second round matchup.
Yeah.
Presumably Wisconsin after that is a tough matchup at the 3 seed. But really and truly, it's like if you're Alabama and you're healthy and you're playing well, you're like, we got to get past Duke. You know what I mean? And that's not the same as having to get past potentially UConn, Maryland, St. John's, right? That's a tough little road. And I always felt like whoever was the 2 seed in Houston's bracket would have a little bit of an easier path because I think Houston is the worst of the 4 number 1 seeds.
Okay.
That doesn't mean they're not really good. I just think they're the worst of the 4 number 1 seeds.
They're playing extremely well coming into the tournament. So, but interesting thing, you know, Alabama and Auburn have played Houston. Both beat Houston.
Yeah.
So take that for what you. I don't think Houston lost but 4 games all year, or 4 or 5, and 2 of them were to Auburn and Alabama. So that speaks well of Auburn, and speaks well of Alabama. But no question that Florida was playing the best. Obviously winning the SEC tournament, but
sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
I think there was a team last year that was playing such great basketball through the SEC tournament, and a lot of people started picking them to win the national title because of that.
Didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
No.
So
that happens from time to time.
It does not matter what you did in the SEC tournament.
No. Doesn't matter
once you start this tournament, it doesn't matter.
No, it does not. All right, the Alabama State Hornets here, 20-15 overall, 12-6 in their conference. They played LSU. Now this was way back in November. You just got through saying like these games don't matter. They don't, but just for context, LSU beat them in Baton Rouge, 74-61. This was beginning of this is November 10th. November 22nd, they went. They beat Omaha, 85-67. Now Omaha's in the tournament. Omaha, I believe, is going to play St. John's in the opening round, if I'm not mistaken. So this is not a bad team. This Alabama State team is capable. Akron, another tournament team here. Now, Akron got them pretty good. November the 24th, 97-78. Cincinnati beat them in November, 77-59. SMU, 101-72 on December the 3rd. And Missouri beat them on December the 30th, 82-65. So, again, not afraid to go out and schedule some quality programs in the non-conference.
No, and they're a good SWAC team. They're just – it's not going to be the same talent level as an SEC team, obviously.
No.
As you see by the scores.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to go out and schedule difficult games. It's another to go out and actually win these difficult games. So we'll look at some of this. Look at this lineup a little bit when we come back with more from the Auburn Blitz right after this.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, you care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carry or cool cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering, or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Just about 30 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. I'd like to remind you about Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines each and every day here. A great place to get some tremendous food in the Montgomery or Auburn area. Got a wide variety of steaks, ribs, steak burgers, Kaneka burgers. If you hadn't tried these things, they are a delicacy, I must tell you, no doubt. So they got daily lunch specials as well. Go to their website, steaksandwine.com. That's just a letter N in there, steaksandwine.com. And check out their daily lunch specials. Again, the food is absolutely tremendous. You'll be glad you went every single day if you went there for lunch. But you can get the food. You can cook it yourself. They'll cook it for you, however you want to do it. Just go and check them out. One of our great sponsors, Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. We had a comment I was going to get to. Ed says Auburn is a 33.5-point favorite. Just don't believe Bruce Pearl will purposely beat the Hornets that bad.
I mean, sometimes the ball just goes in the hole. You know,
that's true.
You're not. Here's what you're not going to do, and I think people sometimes, yes, you might pull your starters a little earlier, but Auburn's bench players are good enough to beat Alabama State by 15.
I would hope.
You know, sometimes you can't help that the score gets out of hand. You're not going to tell your guys go miss shots.
No.
You know.
No, but you
or
can
don't
try
run the offense.
You can try to run it up.
Oh yeah,
I
you
mean,
can do that. You can leave your starters in and keep pushing the tempo, but and I don't think you'll do that. But I mean, if you're up by 21 at the half, covering 33 is not that unthinkable.
No, that's true. Steve says with Auburn have played this year at Lexington and at Atlanta, shouldn't that give Auburn a somewhat big advantage? Still concerned about Auburn's energy.
Well, I mean, I think that's why they wanted the South bracket.
No doubt.
For those locations. No question about that.
I think that's, well, I mean, we play in Rupp nearly about every year. That has not been typically a place that has treated Auburn well.
Right.
It did this year. So maybe that's a good sign moving.
So.
Moving out of this round.
But certainly they wanted to be in that South bracket for those reasons. And Atlanta, you're going to get a lot of Auburn fans in Atlanta. You're going to get that. So, I think it's definitely an advantage.
Oh yeah. You start to look at that second round matchup. Creighton, Louisville. If it is Louisville, is that
it's a boost for Louisville. I mean, they're playing in Lexington.
They are, but
pretty close to home.
Many Kentucky fans may come out just to boo Louisville.
Well, I think the Kentucky fans probably be too into their own, especially if my Troy Trojans give them a battle in the first round.
Could do it. Yeah. Could do it. Okay, back to the Alabama State Hornets here. Looking at, an interesting mix. Got several seniors on this group, but really you got three guys. Amar Knox, 6'3", 170 guard, redshirt sophomore, scoring 14.5 points a game. C.J. Hines, a senior guard, scoring 14.3 points per game, and a senior T.J. Madlock, 6'3", 190 guard, scoring 12.6. It drops off significantly after that. Now, they will play about 9 guys. So, look, I realize there's a vast discrepancy here between Auburn and Alabama State.
Vast.
But the second you blink and don't take somebody seriously, that's when problems start to arise. So just treat them with the respect that they deserve. They can shoot. They average about 9 threes a game. The three-pointer, they can
They're not going to beat Auburn, Andy. Just say it. It's guys. Alabama State will not beat Auburn. It's not going to happen.
I'm not picking them, but
I know. I mean,
I'm just saying.
I have great respect for the Hornets. I think probably got a really good SWAC basketball team, right?
Yeah.
But they are who they are.
Yeah.
If Auburn loses this game, they really should. This would be worse than the Yale loss by several measures.
Yeah, not
you
even close.
really need to bury your head in a towel when you leave the gym if you lose that one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
So you all right.
Because the anybody can beat anybody thing is not really true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. Has there been 2 16s that have beaten the one, or is it just one?
I think it's just one.
Okay, one time.
Yeah.
In all of 39 years since the tournament expanded.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
True. All right, we'll go ahead and take a break. We'll be back.
And has the number 1 overall seed ever lost? Probably not.
Probably not. We'll come back with more. We'll take your comments and your phone calls. 256-234-6221. More to come right after this.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone, 256-750-0381, or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bugs Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bugs Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bugs Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bugsisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Are you ready to showcase your skills and compete with the best in Alabama? The 42nd Alabama State Games are coming to Birmingham and Jefferson County from June 13th through the 15th, and it's your chance to be part of something incredible. Athletes from across the state will compete in sports ranging from archery to wrestling, Those participating in the opening ceremony are eligible for academic scholarships ranging from $500 to $5,000. Mark your calendar. Registration opens March 1st. Visit allegames.com.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Just a couple of more segments left in today's show. Again, thank you so much for all of our thanks to all of our sponsors out there. Could not do the show without them. Russell Dewitt Center, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensagreen Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. For some reason, JJ, the baseball season started this couple few days ago in Japan. I'm not
in Japan.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that happened.
Yeah.
The Dodgers and the Cubs, but
it counts.
It counts.
Okay.
Yeah, the Dodgers swept the Cubs.
Okay.
The baseball season is officially started.
So the Cubs aren't going to be any good again.
Well, the Dodgers are going to be that good.
Yeah.
I think Ohtani, they got a guy, by the name of Ohtani. He ain't bad.
Yeah.
We'll see. But, apparently so I guess spring sports are in full swing. So Auburn got a game at Jane B. Moore Field tonight, 6 o'clock. They'll host South Alabama. Auburn in desperate need of a win here. Auburn 20-8 on the year, 0-6 in the SEC. They started out the season 20-1, and they have lost 7 straight.
Yep.
So it's a tough league. It's a tough league.
You can't go over. No,
you gotta. They lost to Georgia Tech in the midweek as well. So. Really need to win tonight to beat South Alabama because they'll be traveling this weekend to Austin, Texas, and I think they're the number 2 team in the country.
And like I said, you need to win one of them. You're on the road. You need to take one of 3. I don't care if they're the number -10 team. You've
got to find a way to win one game to break this up. Otherwise, if you get swept, it's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
Last night, I guess it may be, in solidarity, the Auburn baseball team hosted Alabama State. So Alabama State, couple of years, seemed like 2, 3, I don't know, maybe it's 4 or 5 years ago, they started really dipping into the Latin population and to fill out a baseball team, and they're not bad on the diamond for sure, but they're not great. 9-13, 2-1. This was a lot of runs scored in this one. 13-9. Auburn wins this one last night. But anyway, just throw that out there. Auburn heading to Kentucky this weekend. Kentucky, I think, number 25 in the country. Auburn got off to a great start against Vanderbilt to kick things off, taking 2 or 3 there in Plainsman Park. They'll head out on the road now to see how that works out. How about your Alabama Crimson Tide? I know you probably haven't kept up with it, but
no, I'm still in basketball mode.
They're like, I think they're like 20-1.
They got a really hot hitter apparently.
Okay.
Right now, so
okay, wow.
Which I've seen mentions about on Twitter and things.
Right. Well,
you know I'm an MLB guy. I don't follow college baseball really. So
I get you. That's all right. Well, as far as the what's going to take place, how much closer are you to figuring out your bracket? You said when we got here today that you had a dilemma.
Well, I have a dilemma. I'm pretty sure that I'm either picking Auburn or Duke to win the national championship. I think they've been the 2 best teams all year. I think they're still the 2 best teams.
Yeah.
So I'm more than likely going to have one of those 2 winning the national championship, unless I hit my head on.
Well, you talk about Nelson being healthy. What about Cooper Flagg?
Yeah. Cooper Flagg, his ankle, but he's had more time. I mean, he's already had a full week now, right? With Nelson, I think the indications are that they're probably going to try to hold him out Friday, and then so he can be good to go on Sunday. If that's the case, then I feel like Alabama's in position to make a run. When you take him off that team, I know Alabama fans will tell you he's had a disappointing season, but you take him off that team, and they're not getting past the Sweet 16 without him. I'll say that out front.
Right.
But we'll see. So I don't know how healthy is Cooper Flagg. We'll see. Can this true freshman lead his team to a national title? That's another thing. So I lean Auburn for those reasons, but I really think it's kind of a coin flip.
Yeah.
At the same time, I can't just pretend like Duke didn't beat Auburn in the preseason.
In Cameron Indoor, it was a different.
So it's not like one of those things where you look at it and go, "Oh, Auburn's far and away the better team."
Sure. Oh,
they lost, That's
absolutely.
So I'm in a bit of a conundrum with that one.
I don't blame you. People keep talking about, the Louisville Creighton in the second round. What about Texas A&M? That's a team that Auburn, it's Texas A&M, Michigan, UC San Diego, that matchup. There's no guarantee. I mean, everybody seems to be that's the trendy pick for the upset, like you said, San Diego. I'm not sure. Michigan's playing pretty well right now.
Didn't they just win their conference tournament?
They just won their conference.
I was watching them cut down nets the other day.
But Michigan, Texas A&M, I'm not sure who I'd take in that one.
Yeah. Michigan, Texas A&M, to me, honestly, if you force me to pick it right now, I'd probably lean more Michigan.
Yeah.
They seem to be the hotter team at the moment. Texas A&M didn't win a game in the conference tournament.
No. So, again, landmines still out there. And that path, certainly, you're going to have to earn it to get there, for sure. All right, we're going to go ahead and take one more break, but we'll be back for one final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Wednesday, right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carry or cool cash rebates. Visit sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Are you ready to showcase your skills and compete with the best in Alabama? The 42nd Alabama State Games are coming to Birmingham and Jefferson County from June 13th through the 15th, and it's your chance to be part of something incredible. Athletes from across the state will compete in sports ranging from archery to wrestling. Those participating in the opening ceremony are eligible for academic scholarships ranging from $500 to $5,000. Mark your calendar. Registration opens March 1st. Visit alagames.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Wednesday afternoon. Beautiful day outside. Going to be lovely. I think 82.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think spring has sprung, which is fine by me for sure. Okay. Finishing out the play-in games tonight, again, Mount St. Mary's and American University this afternoon, 5:40, and then Xavier and Texas, to see if that final 14th SEC team can get in.
Well, technically they're in.
Technically they're in, but this would really get them in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
a record either way because the old record was 11.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's the other thing that Luke and I talked about. You know, we thought, well, eventually, you know, last week we said they'll break the record, but it'll be by 12. You know,
yeah, that's what I thought too.
I don't know. I mean, my goodness, I never thought 14.
No, and to be honest, I did not think Texas would get in.
No, I didn't.
And I'm kind of worried that didn't really expect Oklahoma to get in.
Do you think no? Do you think Texas? I mean, they won at least. I know they won one. Did they win 2 games in the SEC tournament?
No, they won one.
Just one. So
yeah.
Did that get them in, or were they already in even without that? I wonder. It's a good thing. Good question for the committee.
Yeah.
But anyway, Auburn going to get underway on Thursday afternoon against Alabama State. Go ahead and get things, kicked off the right way if you're Auburn. Kind of recapture who they were for the majority of the year. Like you said, they were, the best team in the country for quite a large margin of the year.
Well, I think in order to do that, one, that they are going to have to flip the energy switch. Somebody mentioned earlier on the Facebook that, because when it comes to rebounding and things like that, they're just going to have to flip that switch and go hard, But I think 2 guys have got to pick up their play, Todd Pettiford and Denver Jones. I think they've got to their play has got to pick up in this tournament for Auburn to accomplish what they want to accomplish.
Let's quickly try to pick up Steve here.
Okay. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Steve? He gone.
Steve is no longer with us. I think if you get a chance, it's probably not going to have any time to call back. We'll see what happens, kick things off tomorrow. It is the 19th of March as we kind of close things out here. 1956 on this day, the largest NBA margin of victory. To that time, the Minnesota Lakers defeated the St. Louis Hawks 133-75.
That's 58 points.
That'd be a 58 point.
Yes.
We got Steve back, I think.
Okay. Hey, Steve. No.
Steve, are you?
I think there may be a problem with this phone.
I believe we may have a problem with the phone.
Call us tomorrow, Steve.
Steve, apologize. Try to give us a call tomorrow. We are having some difficulty with the phone line at the moment. On this day, 1966, Texas Western defeated Kentucky for the national championship, 72-65.
Historic win.
They made a movie about it.
Sure did. Glory Road, which is an outstanding movie.
There you go. On this day, 1972, the L.A. Lakers defeated the Golden State Warriors 162-99. They're breaking the record of the all-time points margin for victory.
63 on that.
That would be so, and I think it's been broken since then too. So
wow.
That's a whooping.
If you get beat by 63 points, you really don't deserve to call yourself a professional anymore.
That's a good call.
Does that remind you of that? Was it the Bobby Knight quote? They said, "How do you feel about your team's execution?" He said, "I'm for it."
That was
what was that,
John,
Buddy Ryan?
That was what was his name? John McKay.
Okay, yeah.
Used to coach USC. Yeah. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers is what he was talking about. Happy birthday today, Jay Berwanger.
First Heisman winner.
First Heisman winner from Chicago, a halfback from Chicago. Born on this day, 1914. Richie Ashburn played for the Phillies. I always love to say he hit 2 foul balls, hit the same woman twice.
Oh, yeah.
Ursula Andress. Lovely.
Wasn't she a Bond girl?
Bond girl, the original Bond girl. Glenn Close, Bruce Willis, Andy
put
Reid.
the rabbit in the pot.
And Mick, that's right. And Rick Meyer, plays former quarterback of the Seahawks.
I really thought Rick Meyer was going to be a good pro. By the way, speaking of quarterbacks, I don't know if you saw this come across the wire a little bit ago, but pro day apparently in Tuscaloosa, Jalen Milroe clocks a 4.37.
Nice. That's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for being with us. He's JJ. I'm Andy. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.